all talk about step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you talk about daydreaming and thinking.
Daydreaming, receiving, thinking might not be. Daydreaming is always receiving if it feels good, and thinking may not be.
So where does reflection, I heard you say reflection a little while back.
Rather than trying to decide that, let's just talk about the vibrational stance from which I reflect. What influence am I under while I'm reflecting? Because if you're under the influence of source and you're reflecting, oh, what a scenario that is. If you're not under the influence of source, depending upon what jag you're on, in other words, if somebody wronged you and you're reflecting, oh man, you start remembering things you'd long forgotten. The injustices of your childhood.
So if you're under source, you reflect more.
Not necessarily. Reflection is about momentum, and momentum is about focus. What you're reflecting on has to do with your vibrational stance. So momentum happens whether you're under the influence of source or whether you're under the influence of something other than source. Momentum's happening, law of attraction's happening no matter what.
So is reflection accelerating the momentum, or is reflection just a byproduct?
Really good question. Anything that you're reflecting on or focused upon is accelerating whatever you're focused upon. So if you're under the influence of source and you're reflecting, what does reflection literally mean? Like a mirror? So if you're blissful and it's reflecting back and it's reflecting back and it's reflecting back, it's becoming exponentially more and more and more and more and more and more. If you're miserable and you're reflecting and back and forth, it's just becoming more and more and more and more and more. So perhaps reflection is a really good word that means law of attraction, means more. There's the law of attraction or reflection, and there's the law of attraction reflection, which equals momentum. It doesn't matter what you're under the influence of, momentum will happen. But here is an important distinction that we can feel within you. And it's the thing that we love saying more than all other things put together. When you take into consideration the whole of who you are, the source energy from which this perspective of you came, and the source energy of you who has been evolving with every thought that you've had ever since, feel the momentum of that you. Feel the bigness of that pure positive energy you. Even more, feel the natural, logical, bigger bigginess of it, because there's no resistance in that. So of course, that momentum's got to be much, much more than any of this momentum, because this momentum, this physical human response to others' momentum, has a lot of resistance that you're putting into the mix, while this pile, this you, this point of attraction, no resistance. So of course it's more. That's why we can say unequivocally to you, and you can feel the logic of it too. The goodness is so much more than the badness. The love is so much more than the hate, because it goes from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. When any of you find hate in your heart in this lifetime, you leave it behind when you re-emerge into non-physical. Nobody takes it with you. So this momentum of all this anger and hatred and whatever's going on this planet, good stuff too, we don't mean that it is all that way, but it does not re-emerge into non-physical. It's not that ongoing, passed on from generation to generation from the non-physical standpoint. Your non-physical ancestors never pass on bad stuff to the new ones coming forth. You get that from your mother, and she got it from her mother, and so forth.
Our moms get a lot of heat.
Oh, they always get the blame and the credit.
Fair enough. That was my question.
Really good.
Thank you very much.
Really good. The most important thing that we wanted you to hear, we've heard you hear. We know that you understand. We know that it feels logical to you, that more exists than you here in this physical body. And we know that you have a true sense right now of the ongoingness of that which is you. It has been our desire today to activate within you appreciation of the part you play in your physical role. We don't ever want you to think that we are diminishing the physical you while we are enhancing the non-physical you, because the non-physical you could not exist without the physical you. We are so all in this together. But we know for sure that with just a little bit of adjustment in the way that you are looking at this, that you can find that blissful place in every moment in time. And that's really what you intended to do. Not one of you said, I'll come forth and struggle my way into motion forward, because you knew that your struggle would cause motion forward, but if you keep it up, you would deprive yourself of the benefit of what you had created. You said, I'll go forth and I'll find new things and I'll throw them into the mix and the universe will become larger. And we said, and when you do that, we will watch your rocket and we will receive it and we will understand it and we will become it and we will focus upon it, and it will be the strongest point of attraction that you have. And you said, and I'll pay attention to the way I feel, and I'll be able to tell if once you are focused upon what I've created, once you are holding the vision of it, once you've got the light on for me, you said, I will know by the way I feel whether I'm introducing resistance into that or whether I'm going with the flow of it. And that's what we've been talking about all day here today. You are the creator of your own reality, and you are beneficial to all that is. And you can, without exception, be or do or have anything that you choose. We just want you to understand that you're choosing a whole lot more than you're letting in. You are abundant beyond our ability to describe, not just with clarity and not just with harmony, but with what you mean in real terms of abundance. You've put so much in your vortex that you have really easy access to once you get step 1 and step 3 clear in your mind. Today, our strongest emphasis, because we can feel power in this room, powerful desire in this room, the likes of which we usually do not feel. You are a powerful group of deliberate creators with much intent that you have launched. And we can also feel, along with the power of your desire, more resistance than usual because you care so much about where you stand in relationship to what you're asking for. And so this conversation can go a long way in soothing that. You're not here to prove worthiness to anyone. You're already worthy. You're not here to atone for anything. We have never forgiven anyone for anything ever, because we have never judged them inappropriate to begin with, so we don't have anything to undo. You have judged all kinds of things inappropriate, but you don't have anything to forgive either, because you can't forgive, because when you look upon the thing that you're trying to forgive, you keep it active and you keep yourself separated from the love that is source, and then you're in less than forgiveness, where when you're in vibrational alignment with who you are, forgiveness isn't even a word that we use. We can't forgive. That word can't exist. Can you hear how that word cannot exist? That state of being cannot exist in a consciousness where there has never been anything to undo, to atone for. We'd like to zap you once and for all so that you could feel the amazingness that is you. But really, we had that conversation before you came into this physical body, and we all agreed that it was better for you to do it your own way. You said, I can figure this out. I've got a guidance system and I can tell when I'm tuned in and when I'm not. And you can. There is great love here for you. And for now, we remain in your vortex.